Thanks so much for your continued support of the Derby. Obviously, the last few years have involved a lot of ups and downs. Going back to April of 2020, we would have never guessed that it would have wiped out the entire season. Last year, we started bouncing back. We had 59 race cities sending champions to Akron for last year's championship. And then heading into 2022, we're just really thankful to all the racers, race families, and local directors and volunteers who kept things running throughout the country. This was really important to the Derby. I also want to say thank you to the committee members, regional directors for helping us work through the process for the last year. You guys were really valuable in working with your local race cities to bring them back. Collaboratively, we were able to invite over 300 champions this year from 80 race cities. We know that a number of people are dealing with increased costs to attend this year's All-American, and we appreciate your perseverance. Thanks for your participation and ability to weather the storm. Special thanks also to our staff, 3 of whom are new in the last year, and to our board for providing the necessary support. These last 3 years have been very taxing. Soapbox Derby has challenges that are really similar to other companies. If you're working out there in the marketplace, staffing is a good challenge. Balancing the unpredictable marketplace. Second, you've seen it firsthand. You've experienced the price increases that we have in purchasing new products. And the third item is supply chain, where we've had some manufacturers not want to continue manufacturing products for us, and then some who have increased time constraints. The purchasing of products and the price increases are something that we're all dealing with on a daily basis and is a good challenge for us. So at this point in time, we have good inventory levels in stock, but I have a big request for you. If you're planning to purchase a large number of products, please contact us early part of your decision making. It will be really, really helpful to us in our process. We have a couple orders right now where somebody wanted a bunch of weights and somebody wanted a bunch of floorboards. And it's really vital that we know that ahead of time. If it's going to wipe us out or it's going to take us to low levels, we want to continue ordering quickly so that we have the lead time to get products in before we run out. So as we head into the 2023 season, we really want to get back to racing in a big way next year. The cost of licenses will go up next year, and we'll put that out to everybody as we've seen rising costs across the board. So while we've raised the cost of licenses to race cities, we're going to offer discounts for multiple rallies in a race city. So if you have a second rally or a third rally, you'll get a discounted rate for that second and third rally. We really want to start working with race cities to offer clusters of rallies in areas around the country so there can be multiple rallies close distance to your home. As we all know, this isn't always possible, but it's really important to the racers out there that they can find rallies closer to home if possible. You're going to see that we've increased our marketing materials for next year, as we want to provide as much help as possible to race cities to be successful. With that recruitment process, with getting more racers, with getting more word out about racing. We have seen some areas of the country be successful, working with schools to grow their local races. Indianapolis, New York City, Rochester, New York, Massachusetts have had success increasing races through working with their schools in their areas. We recently had a good conversation with the State of Iowa Education Group in the Des Moines local about growing programs through education. We want to continue promoting our school programs in the classroom, after school, and in summer. And I know everybody gets tired of me saying about school programs, but right now there's a very, very large amount of money available through the schools to support, racing programs. So just got done sending an email right before this meeting where a school in St. Louis wants to get involved with the Soapbox Derby, and it has nothing to do with education programs. It's all about building cars in their classrooms and trying to figure out how they can race and get more races. So if you want to discuss the education programs or school programs further, let us know. The other thing that we're seeing great success with, both in the office and a couple locals around the country, is with grants. There's a couple race cities that have received money to support their race and purchasing products. So if you have foundations in your area, or you would like some help with going after grants in your local area, let us know. So the question is, what's new at the Derby? So we were successful in recruiting a couple new sponsors for this year supporting our programs. We're going to have more race days or days at the track this summer than we've ever had. We continue to promote the Derby with school races, summer camps, field trips, private parties, corporate parties. And the great thing about that is it continues to introduce new racers to Soapbox Derby. So it's really good for us anytime that we're out promoting Soapbox Derby. So here we are, we're 2 weeks away from the First Energy All-American World Championships. This year, we're going to be spending more money to promote the championship on television, radio, and social media. We did a live event a couple months ago at the Cleveland track with Channel 8, and Channel 8's going to be out to do a live show from the track tomorrow. We've collaborated with the local baseball team, the University of Akron, local concerts, and the Children's Museum to try and gain more fans at the event. I know this is on everybody's mind. It's a big deal to me too. I remember the first year I came and I'm like, oh, we can get people to come to the track. And we gave away 8,000 tickets and, only 800 people used them. It's still one of our goals is to get more people to come out and watch you guys, the great champs, race the All-American. On Friday, so race week, we're going to be back downtown for the parade and at Lock 3 for introductions, and then we'll send the kids to the University of Akron for the rec center. We're excited to host the additional races during the week for the local and rally challenge, the All-Star race, the Legacy race, and the World Championships on Saturday. There are a couple other events. There's a vintage car show on Friday off-site. And then we'll have a STEM fair at the track on Saturday, included with the race. Thanks to Kelly Spieg and the Bill Spieg Memorial Scholarship Fund, we'll give out $36,000 in scholarships to this year's champions. The future of the Derby is going to take a lot of hard work to continue growing, and we need your help. We won't always agree, but we need to work collaboratively to bring more attention to the Hall of Famers, to the great and historic All-American champions, and all the Soapbox Derby racers. Last year, we were able to pave the track, put in new signage, and add sidewalks on the west side of the track. Recently, we were fortunate to get a $500,000 grant from the state of Ohio. The survey results that you responded back to are being reviewed, so we can use your feedback for priorities as we have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to upgrade this facility and make it a place you can be proud of going forward. We're going to continue needing help from corporations, foundations, and individuals. And it really doesn't matter large or small, as we start moving forward, we're going to need your help. So we're excited to see you all in a few weeks for the 84th annual First Energy All-American Soapbox Derby. And I look forward to your questions. So one of the questions that's been asked is something about the new wheels. So there's, for you guys out there that don't know, we are trying to work to get rid of the old Z-glass wheels. That's a 3-piece wheel that has a 2-piece hub and an outer rim. We're trying to change that to a 2-piece wheel. And that's taking a little bit longer than we hope. We are trying, the plan right now is to introduce them for the 2023 All-American World Championships. But there's still a long way to go. We've seen molds. We have not seen wheels yet. We expect that we're going to see some wheels soon. We just put an order in to get more wheels so that we can start testing those and see if they work, what some of the issues are with them, and where we want to go with those. So the plan is, to try and change to a 2-piece wheel. We're spending a lot of money trying to put the mold together, and then once we have the mold together, we're going to have a lot of work to do to test. So there's a question on the good luck messages, a day or two. Heather, can you hop in on that? They're asking if we can extend that for a day or two.
I'll have to check on that because we closed it because we have to go to print on that section of the program. So I will check with Corey on that in the morning.
There's a question on there about the fees for next year's races. Do you have those handy? I knew I should have brought that up. And
I can pull them up if you want to keep going.
Yeah, that'll be great. So there's a question about, how much are the race fees going to be increasing? I know it's a great question, and I know everybody's challenged in their local race city with their fees. So let us get that to you. There's a question about television coverage. Yes, we're going to stream the All-American again. Just like we have the last several years. We were trying to get national television and get something at a higher level than just the streaming. That did not happen, but we will be streaming across the country. So anybody who is home, anybody who is at home will be able to watch the race, just like they have in the past. Heather, there's one about food vendors at the track during race week, and I'm sure that's more, I guess, it involves a deeper answer than just, are there going to be food vendors at the track? Because obviously there will be food vendors at the track race week. Can you talk a little bit more about?
Yeah, so we're bringing back all of our food vendors from the past, or a lot of them. So we are going to have Papa John's, Chick-fil-A, ice cream truck, and several others, including a newer one called the Bus Stop that does food that's good for all ages, with like different types of sandwiches. And then we're going to have a hot dog cart, and we're gonna have a lot of the same types of things we've seen in the past, or who were here in 2019 and before.
Thank you. There's a question about when the new wheel does come out, how long will we be able to use old wheels? We're hopeful that we're going to be able to continue using the old wheels. That's with, and there's a lot of discussion about, how that moves forward. But, we'll be able to use the sealed bearing wheels going forward. I know there's some people out there that have bought, old wheels to use as, for their fields when they're having races. So we will continue, that rule is continuing to be adopted, but we'll be able to use the old wheels for some period of time. Heather, do you want to add to that, or?
No, we don't have an exact timeline, but when we looked back at how it happened when we introduced the Z-Glass wheels, they overlapped for 2 to 3 years before they started actually phasing out old wheels. But we're gonna look at something similar. It's something the Racing Commission and Rally Commission and the staff is looking at together of how the wheels would work together through the transition, but it won't be an overnight change.
Yeah, and we understand the cost that some people have gone to buy old wheels as well. And so we're, I know it's probably hard to believe with the costs and what we're charging you for parts these days, but we are really cognizant about the rising costs. And we've had really good challenges when, this all started last September. We had a couple of vendors come to us and just say, hey, you don't buy enough products, we're not going to make your products anymore. And that's a big blow to us when we have to go out and find a new manufacturer. And then we have had a number of costs that have gone up, can think of several that have gone up over 250%. So all right, so getting back to race fees, right now for the local races for the 2022-2023 race season, and I don't know the last time that rates were raised. I know that, I've been talking about it for the last 3 years, but then with COVID, we weren't able to institute. We have a lot of costs going up with insurance. So if you're a race, if you're running a local or you're working on a race, please really try and be careful. We've seen a handful of accidents this racing season already, and a number of them can be avoided just with better communication. But let's talk about, the fees. Is that the current rate for local race 1 division is $1,250. It will go up to $1,400. 2 divisions will go up to $1,750 from $1,600. And then 3 divisions will go up to $2,100 from $1,900. So approximately, and I understand it's not exact, but approximately 10% or so. So then in talking about rallies, rallies are going to go up. One day, 1 rally will be $625. One day, 2 rallies will be $700. 2 days, 1 rally would be $800. And then one that most people are in are 2 days, two rallies, 1 day, 1 the other is $1,100. 2 rallies each day would be $1,300. So here's the thing, and Chris Harris was quick to point this out. So let me get into the discounts for you. 1 race, there's no discount. But the second rally weekend in the same race season, you get a 10% discount. And the third and each subsequent rally, you get a 20% discount. So here's the deal. Let's just say you had a rally this year, it was $1,150. And you have 3 rallies, you pay $3,450. If you have 3 rallies next year, you pay $1,300 for the first rally. You pay $1,170 for the second rally, and then you pay $1,040 for your third rally. So it basically comes out to the same number if you have 3 rallies. So the idea in some ways, while the costs are going up, in some ways, we're just really trying to bring racing back and bring that back. So somebody told me when the last rate increase was, it was from the gentleman who was running the Derby before, Joe Mazer. There will still be a 10% discount on local race fees for early payment. So good question out there. If you do, we'll have those same discounts in the fall, which will allow you to pay early and get the discounts. So that will still be in place. So as Chris Harris pointed out, it will actually be a little bit less if you hold 3 rallies in a year than you have in the past. So hopefully that answers a number of questions that you have there. We will get those rates out to you, but we will still offer the discount for early payment, and then you'll get the discounts for multiple rallies within one season. So great question. Is the rally fee based on the race organization or the actual location of the rally? So if the local race is holding rallies in different locations, it's by the organization, right? So it'll be based on the organization. So let's just say, since I was talking about Chris is going to have 1 race in Livermore, he's going to have 1 race in San Jose, and he's going to have 1 race in San Francisco. And it's all one licensed city under whatever that is, Northern California. He would get the discount for that. So if you're running rallies and it's not at the exact same place, I know some people, I know Stan's on here too, and I know you run indoors and the bars run indoors. So it's if you're running multiple rallies and they're indoors, outdoors, or they're at different places, it's based on the race organization. Hopefully that was clear enough. Sorry if it's not. Yeah, correct. So if you're running 2 races each day, it would go 1,300, 1,170, 1,040. And then it just stays at 1,040 for each succeeding. So this is, Mark Scuderi helped put this together. We've been talking about this probably since I walked into the Derby. Mark wants the next one to be, 850, 600, 400 free. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that. But think about it. If you're having rallies at $1,040, and you've done a good job of managing your costs with your porta potties and your safety around the track, you should be able to make some money for your local that can be used to really promote what you guys are doing out there. Any questions about race week specifically?
So Mark, I got 2 that are
Go for it.
here. One was, in 2023, what will be the required minimum number of participants for each division for a local race? Right now, the plan is to go back to the 12, 12, and 6 minimum. Depending on how the world turns, we may need to look at, do we need to make that waiver for another year, but the current plan is to go back to 12, 12, and 6 for a local race. And the other one is, has the All-American considered going away from a 4-race weekend? And at this time, I do not think we are anywhere in discussion of going away from a 4-race weekend, unless you have something else with that, Mark.
Yeah, Roger, I think that's always one for me too, right? And, we had it when I was out there at your place and we had rain all day. I think it's going to take some work from the rally commission, to change the points, because, if we go to a 3-race weekend or a 2-race weekend, which allows a lot more camaraderie around the race and, opportunity for kids to get home and that sort of thing. It's not advantageous to you at this point with the way the point system is set up. And I know if some, especially around here in 6, right, if somebody runs a 4-race weekend and somebody runs a 2-race weekend, everybody's going to go to the 4-race weekend. So so maybe I didn't do a good enough job answering this question, but the new wheels will be, introduced for next year's All-American, but they will be able, we're hopeful that they'll be able to be used with the Z-Glass wheels, right? So, if you're having a rally and you're trading wheels and you're doing wheel swaps, and some people have the new wheels and some people have Z-Glass wheels, we are testing that. We're hopeful that that will be phased in so that they all work together. So hope that answers that. No questions on the All-American? Everybody's got that down? Hey, Heather, do you see this next question? Wondering if we're considering posting local heat sheets as we do for rally heat sheets?
I will say we could post them in the fall. It is a time-consuming process. And the reason it works so well with rallies is because you only have a handful of rallies at a time, whereas a local, you could have 20+ locals in a weekend. So it could be something we look at to do in the fall, but it's not a realistic project for the month of June.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah, great question. The cost of the new wheels relative to the current Z-Glass wheels. So, boy, oh boy. So as you've seen, the cost of Z-Glass wheels have gone up substantially, and they continue to go up every time that we do another run of wheels. I thought it was funny. From the 1st of December through the middle of February, every single week we had cost upgrades on floorboards. And so, we have upgrades to costs on plastics, to the TPU and TPC used in the wheels. So I'm sure that I can't give you a good number right now. I would say, based on what I was thinking the new wheels would cost, I'm pretty happy with where we're at today. But with the costs of all materials rising, I would rather not be a guesser here. I would say that they are a little bit more than the current Z-Glass wheels, but with the costs rising on both sides, I'm not sure where we're going to end up. Hey, Heather, there's a question about police presence on the road down to one lane on Friday. And
So we have made that request to the city recently because it was brought to our attention. It is very costly for the city and the police department and us to close down the road. And they do give us discounts. They are looking into it, but we can figure out what we can do. They more would like everybody to park at the bottom, but we are trying to explain to them that you guys are bringing in a lot of tools and weight that day. So it's something we're working on with them now.
yeah, last year I couldn't even get into the race last year. The cops were out there so much for race day, even at 4:30 in the morning. So, but yeah, it's a real balance for us. And then the other one that we heard from the community is people tend to speed through the neighborhoods when we shut down the streets. So we had a couple of people come by and say, will you leave the street open this year? We're tired of having people speed past our houses. And I'm just like, what's next? So we're back to the past schedule. The parade downtown, Lock 3, Akron U for the kids. The challenge race during the week, the All-Star race, the Legacy race, the Super Kids on Friday, the Topside show on Thursday, and then the World Championships on Saturday. So really looking forward to seeing everybody and really appreciate you guys jumping on the call. We'll stick around for a couple more minutes if there's more questions, but it looks like we're starting to run out here. Yep, Rock the Wreck back at Akron U on Monday night. I also think, for the kids that are in high school or the kids that are looking for college opportunities, that hold Akron special in their heart because of the Soapbox Derby and coming to the All-American. We think the admissions office will have some people down there too, and showing off the campus if some people want to learn more about that as well. So. So there's one more question on how the wheels were tested this year. So right now there's a couple different things going on. We have the same wheels that we had last year. And so they're pretty similar to last year. We've been using the old testing machine, and we have a new testing machine that we are using, to throw out a bunch of wheels that may not be as good or that have the treads not be as good as we want them to be for the World Championships. So we got probably 750 sets, and we're working through those. We've worked through those 750 sets to really try and determine, the best wheels we can, so we can make this as fair as possible. Still the same thing on Saturday for everybody, right? I mean, one lane, one time down the hill, sunshine, no sunshine, rain, no rain, humid, not humid, wind up the hill, wind down the hill, wind from the left, wind from the right. So I think, the wheels should be pretty solid. They were very fast last year. We hope that they'll be the same this year and that they're safe and everybody gets a fair trip down the hill. So. Yeah, so great question, right? If you're planning to purchase products at the All-American, it is very helpful, and it doesn't have to be this early, but it can be. We have a number of people that have ordered already and have products on hold for race week. So if you are planning to order some products and you know what you want to take along home, then that's great. You can order products. One change, Heather, you can jump in here if this is incorrect, but one change, instead of ordering products at the check-in tent and the information check-in, instead of order products there, we're going to have you order products directly at the white building, and then you can pick up your products there as well. So yeah, great opportunity if you want to order products and you know what you want to order ahead of time, and then we'll have them ready for you and we can get them in your cars or trucks or whatever. So great question. We have plenty right now. We have plenty of stock. Our biggest concern is that following the All-American and into rallies into the fall, because we have some products that are taking 6 months to get, and we've ordered those, in April, in May, in June, and we'll order more in July, that some of those products we won't have till the end of the year. So we're hopeful that we make it through the All-American with all the products we need. As you guys know, in business out there, I went for an oil change the other day, and the guy goes, "You need a new oil filter," and they go, "We don't have them in stock." So we're hopeful that that does not happen during the All-American, and that we can continue to keep up during the fall. But we think this supply chain problem is going to continue into 2023. We don't see an end in sight with the products that we purchase. And with us being such a small purchaser of products from some of these manufacturers, it could get a little bit worse for us going forward, but we're in good shape. We hope to be able to sell you some products when you're here to save you the shipping. Those shipping costs have not gone back down since, the winter of 2020. And we know every time we send an order out, it's a pain that everybody feels when they get products shipped from the Derby. Okay, thanks everybody. We are full go. Our team is working really hard to get ready for you guys to come here. Cars start checking in, next week, and we're very excited about that and very excited to see you guys. Thanks for all you do for the Derby, and thanks for continuing to support us.